All right, so we have three totally different initiatives, completely separate from each other. So first, we're going to talk about what we're working on with Sig Sauer. By the way, none of what we're going to talk about here has been announced yet, with the exception of Sports South. So we're going to end with that one. So Sig Sauer and also GunBroker, these are all things that are in the works. Not yet available, but will be available soon. So with Sig Sauer, this one is a pretty exciting one. It's really twofold. And so what we've already built is an integration to Sig to share dealer data. Keyword here, you should opt in. We are not sharing your data if you have not opted in, and this is a brand new program, which we really haven't even started. So our goal here is to explain to everybody at the event what is the end goal here for this initiative, and really get everybody excited and eager to opt into this new program. So did you want to talk a little bit about the benefits of to the dealers with opting in? And
Yeah, we started probably about a year ago with some other platforms having this ability for dealers to share their data with us. One of the biggest things it does, it allows us to become better partners together. We can look at your inventories, sales data. We can help forecast better, which is going to help from the manufacturing, procuring raw materials, small parts, all of that through the end product. But one of the biggest things too is by looking at your inventories, we can help you manage it. So if we see you're out of model X, we can try to fulfill that, whether it's direct or through distribution, but maybe we don't have X, but we have B that's a similar type product. We can help fill your shelf that much quicker having that. We can help identify aged or toxic inventory. So we can come up with business plans to help move that product. So you're not sitting on money just wasting away. We can help generate those dollars, help open to buy dollars and just keep, circular. You sell more, you buy more, you sell more, you buy more. It has really worked with the dealers that we are working with right now. It's been a positive interaction with them.
Yeah, and from an integration standpoint, once you opt in, you won't have to do anything. Just opt in, and then from our system, the data is getting pushed over to Sig. You're on hand, your sales data, and it's basically giving Sig all the information they need to really analyze your data and help you make better buying decisions, and really know from benchmark reports and industry trends what's hot, what's not, and help you better manage your ordering and your inventory.
We can see your weeks on hand inventory, and obviously, if you're overstocked in one thing, again, we help come up with business plans to help move it. We're not just selling you the product. It's our job's not done until it's in the consumer's hand. So we want to make that as seamless as possible.
And what's refreshing, I went up to SIG last September, and as a company, just so innovative and really looking to do things different and have a bigger impact, not just for you as dealers, but just for the industry as a whole, and really help everybody be more successful. Of course, SIG, but each of you too. So it's a pretty big initiative on the SIG Sauer side.
It's an entire new department of people just helping us crunch numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when we were at SHOT Show, I was pretty excited because talking to Daryl and Jack and the crew at the show, the SIG team, we were just talking about this program. And in addition to what Stuart just described about the benefit to you as the dealer, there's another huge initiative that SIG is working on that is super exciting. And when you opt in and you share your data and participate in this program, you can also, this is not available yet. This is coming soon. Maybe Stuart can speak more to the ETA. I'm not exactly sure because it's on the SIG side. But Sig Sauer has over 1 million consumers visit their website each and every month. And this program enables you as an independently owned dealer to have the ability to really leverage that the brand and the 1 million consumers that are on their website every month and drive traffic to your website. And so with this inventory push, it's also pushing on hand, you're on hand. So Sig Sauer's website will know which retailers have which products in stock and then those orders will get facilitated to your website. So I'll let you
I mean,
speak to that if I miss anything there.
no, I mean, she kind of hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I mean, we're really trying to do our best to work with our business partners. So I'll be outside tonight. Please come by.
Yes.
I have the opt-in forms. If you have any more questions, I'd be happy to take the time to work with you on those.
I have a question, Michelle.
Yeah, sure.
So sounds like it's the where to buy concept, right? Basically, if I go to SIG and I'm looking at, a product and I am interested in buying it, it's gonna not sell it to me directly, but it's based on my location, it's gonna say, these are the authorized dealers, when I know for a fact they have it in stock.
Through
Then
the
that's-
dealer portal, that's where that'll.
No, on your website.
Yeah.
On the website, yeah.
Yes, on the actual consumer-facing website. All right, so that's.
Yeah, the first phase, at least from what I understand so far, again, this is all new, but the first phase is that it's going to push the traffic to your site. And then there might be future phases where that might change, but for phase one, that is
Yeah,
the,
that will
that's the goal.
drive a lot of traffic, especially with million unique visitors. I mean, that's substantial.
Yeah. And, I mean, I talk to partners all day, every day. It's really my main role at Celerant is strategic partnerships. And it has been really interesting in a great way this past year, especially to see so many of our partners really leaning in to these types of initiatives and really doing programs like this to really help the dealers, you just sell more products and get more website traffic. And so, this program, we're going to talk about the GunBroker program. Zeke will really talk about that. Sports South, the Smart Order program. There's so many initiatives that so many of our larger partners are starting to plan, and we at Celerant are just excited to be a part of it and be able to work with these partners from the jump to really bring this technology and all of this available to you all. All right. Any questions on the SIG integration? Is everyone? Yeah.
Just getting sick data, or are we also sending comparative data like the manufacturers that we might be interested in assessing as far as sales or even something?
Yeah, so it is sending all of you. It's everything. It's not just SIG. Yep, good question. Anybody else? All right. What are you raffling at this event?
Tonight I'll be raffling off a P365, and then I have a couple sets of our binoculars. Yeah, everybody likes free guns. Yeah, as long as it's not restricted in whatever state some people might live in. And then I have a couple pair of binoculars that we'll be raffling off too.
So visit that SIG table and participate in the raffle. You do have to have a conversation and shake hands in order to participate, but there's some good prizes here tonight. So, well, tomorrow they'll get pulled, but stop by the table tonight and say hello. All right. Thank you, Stuart. Up next, we're going to talk about GunBroker. And so Zeke sort of already talked a little bit about this in his prior session. We have John up here too. And again, I can't stress enough, we've been partnered with GunBroker for a very long time. And so again, to see another huge partner of ours really just so eager to do more. And what we're going to talk about right now is just one initiative. And we're meeting with Beth and John and team, I think, next week to talk about potentially other areas too. So there's a lot of things potentially brewing that is all pretty exciting. So Zeke, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one.
Sure. So, I touched on it in the previous panel. Basically, the goal here, where all of this comes from is, we see that some of our dealer clients are really crushing it on the website, as in they're getting tons of orders, and some are not at all. So there's not a ton that's in between. We have some that are doing really well and some are really struggling. So we've been thinking, what can we do to get them more traction online? And, John and I, we live in essentially the same town. He lives like really 5 miles away from our office. So we got together and, we came up with the idea. And my original thought was, we have distributor feeds from Sports South, RSRs, and there's like 25 of them. And a lot of our clients want to leverage that, distributor feed. And I've been asked by a lot of our clients that they want to put the distributor products up on GunBroker. And I've always said no. because there will be hundreds of thousands of products altogether. So, just guns will be like probably 50,000. So that is just too much data, too many listings. And then John and I were having lunch, and I shared this with John, and he said, if I do that, he's going to stop talking to me. So, and I
Those weren't
understand.
my exact words.
And I understand, because why would he want me to send 200,000 listings for each one of our dealers? He's going to end up with millions of more records on
Of
his
the
site.
exact same product.
Erroneous records, basically, right? So, as we're talking, we basically came up with this idea where John has this data already, where they know what products are hot, trending, and what price range they sell at. So if a product, P365 is usually $450 and goes between $450 and $500, for example, and your inventory says it's $600, I'm not going to bother with it because I know it's not going to sell. So basically, what we are going to do is we getting a gigantic data set from Sports South for analysis purposes only, and then we are writing a routine that is going to take your data. So it's going to take your products, your pricing, and see what fits into the sweet spot for GunBroker from GunBroker standpoint. So if your products qualify, we're only going to mess with those products and not even touch the others. Because what's the point of putting so much data out there if it's never going to sell? It's usually going to lead to disappointment, right? So, so that's the intent, and we have made a lot of headway in that direction. John's team has provided the technical details that we needed to get that information. So now we have all the pieces, and we're working on actually making it happen where the analysis runs. So the intent will be you as a dealer, a client of ours, will go into the web admin, and you'll go into GunBroker section, and you will select your category from Celerant. So for example, you select firearms and then handguns. And then you're going to say handguns, then analyze GunBroker eligibility. You'll click on that button, and that's when all that data comparison is going to happen. It's
You
probably
can
going
say
to
magic happens.
well, that's when the magic will happen. That's where the magic happens. It does all that computation, it checks what qualifies, what doesn't, and then out of all your handguns, it's probably going to spit out 25 that are in that sweet spot. And then John has also given us newer API where we're going to take that UPC for each one of those 25, and we're going to automatically list those for you on GunBroker. And then GunBroker has a built-in functionality where we only need to supply UPC, short description, and very basic information on obviously the price that we want. And then they have a master database in their system built in where it automatically fills out the specifications. So all the, caliber, action, all of those specs automatically get filled out. So consumer sees a robust listing, even though we only send like 4 things. So GunBroker fills in the rest. So basically what you get as a dealer is by just doing a few clicks, what sells. You are basically end up listing those on the web on GunBroker, and then they will sell on GunBroker. And then our normal integration will pull in those orders and do the normal process. They have different steps where FFL is received, payment is received. So all those processes will happen automatically, and you'll have those orders inside Celerant, and you'll pick, pack, and ship in Celerant, and we'll automatically notify GunBroker, hey, this order has been fulfilled. So that's the cycle. That's the thought behind this new functionality. And I'm super pumped, super excited about it. I think this can give our dealers the edge that they need to get some more traction online, and and have more targeted and focused approach. So
We're
that's
really excited to be partnering with you guys to do this because we're going to make available to Celerant our thousands and thousands of transactions over long periods of time and be able to break that down so you can see what everyone's talking about, what is trending, what is the right price point to put things at. So providing all that information back into Celerant
and the dealer base will allow you guys to transact more effectively. And sure, go for it.
And I love that this whole idea, this whole concept was born when finally these two just went to lunch in Atlanta.
It happens.
It can look at either one. Yes. Yeah, I would say usually my go-to will be web price because I'm running under the assumption that you have a website that already is selling products. But if that's not the case, then it could take your store price. That would be.
But
just
I know where you could
configuration.
have a website if you wanted one that would sell products nationwide. So,
Uh, so that's basically the gist of the initiative. There are a few other things that we are exploring, regarding used guns. GunBroker is most successful in selling used guns. They move them really, really fast. There's a huge demand for it. So, there's gonna be some more features coming along those lines where it may leverage this data for you to take in when you're when you're buying a gun from somebody, a used gun, taking it in, it will give you basically what it would go for on GunBroker, for example. So then you know how much margin you want to keep and how much you want to offer the customer for that used gun. So, that's something that I'm going to be talking to Rob about. But I think this can enhance your ability, because, you might be doing that manually right now anyway. When you take a gun, you don't really know for sure how much to offer for this used gun. You probably go to GunBroker and check how much it's selling for. So we'll make
it's
it
going to be a lot
automated.
easier this way.
Yes, this will
Yeah.
be
We
a lot
we
easier.
kind of keep some of that. We're looking at releasing more of that to make it easier for all of you. But with something like this, tying it right in, being able to look it up right in their portal, and then allow you to basically know when you're bringing that in, what you can turn it around for. Listed on GunBroker as an auction, 7 to 14 days, and you turn it into cash. Then you can go buy more SIGs or
Yes.
things from Sports Out.
Yes. And I would
So-
think that you could also come up with a hot list for things that they should be looking for.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So if someone's bringing in 10 used guns,
Right.
they could have the intelligence of saying these 3 may make sense for me to go after and value over others.
Not only are we aware of what's moving, but we're also aware of what's moving regionally.
Right.
So if you might have something that you might be looking at taking in your store, but you already have a bunch of them, and they're not selling there, they can be selling in another part of the country like hotcakes. So it really gives you the opportunity to not say no to that transactional opportunity with your customer, sell them what they want, take their used item in trade, and put it into the nationwide platform where it's going to go to where it's hot and at the highest price.
Excellent.
John, could you talk a little bit about, when somebody's putting a listing on GunBroker, the difference between fixed price versus auction, like what works better? What's a better approach in your opinion?
So it depends on what you're trying to sell and what you're trying to accomplish, but a fixed price listing is really what it's called. It's a fixed price listing. I have this firearm, I want to sell it for this much. It's a great platform so that, if you have something that you've brought in for $450, and you need 500 out of it or whatever it is, you can go and you can list that and you can sell it at that price. The fixed price option also allows you to list multiple items for a single UPC for sale and list all of them at one time, and GunBroker will cycle through and sell them for you. So if you have a bunch of those SIGs and you want to put them all up there, you can list them all very easily at one time. The auction platform and the auction allows you a couple different strategies for how you want to get things sold. An item that you list for sale on auction, if you started at a penny, people are going to bid on it and it's going to drive to the highest price. When that auction closes, it sells to that person at the highest price. That is a very good way, if you're comfortable with your pricing, to get the maximum dollars out of that item. You were talking about used product. used product has a lot of differentiations between it, much like buying a used car. Some have more scratches, some have less scratches, some have nicer wood, some are more worn. It allows that product to drive to the maximum value based on the characteristics of exactly that product. And it keeps you from putting something out there that may be worth $250 and you list it for $200 and you lose out on that incremental dollars. Or it might sell for $250 and you put it out there for $350 and you never get your money back out of it. So using the auction format and running something 7, 10, 14 days allows it enough time to get enough eyes on it and drive the price up to where the market effectively says the value of that firearm is.
For the auction option, there is a minimum price that you set to it.
You can, so that's a good point, thank you. You can put a starting bid in, so if you have something, if we go back to the firearm that you have a certain amount of money in, you can set a starting price there and you can let the auction go up from there. So if you have a newly launched firearm or maybe something that's in higher demand, you can start it at a certain price point and let it go from there. The auction format also has a buy now feature where you can let it run on auction, but you can also give the consumer the opportunity to hit the button, buy it now at a specific price so that they don't have to wait for the end of that auction to end and see if they win it. Some people just want that instant gratification. So that allows them to jump right in and not have to wait.
Good. All right. So going back to the new initiative, though, with GunBroker. So in simpler terms, I mean, really, what is up on here on the screen is what it is. What if you could know the hottest products? What if you could know which of your products to list, and more importantly, at what price? And so instead of guessing, instead of trying to push everything, instead of spending all that manual time looking things up yourself, this will do it for you. So it's a huge new tool that we're pumped about. This is just an infographic that our designer created. So you'll see this, in the marketing, but basically it's just it's showing that you're the merchant, of course. It's going against all of GunBroker's data that Zeke's team is really consuming, and then comparing that against your database, all your products, just comparing it against the GunBroker data to optimize your products and know exactly what to list and at what price. And by the way, you don't only need to use this information to list on GunBroker. You could also take this valuable information to make changes on your own website.
Yeah.
All right, and GunBroker is raffling off what?
We have a couple range bags, a large range bag and a small range bag filled with swag. So there's, you'll see it out on the table outside tonight. Come stop by, say hi. I'll be glad to answer any questions and give you a new suitcase to carry home.
Yeah, there's a lot of swag on that table. All right, the last, but certainly not least, new initiative that we want to talk about is the Sport South Smart Order Program. So this is actually available. This is available now. We have, I think, 3 or 4 of our dealers already live and using this. This has been a project that we have worked on with Sport South for about a year. About a year,
Yep.
And it's finally here, and it is super impressive. So we have built an integration. Of course, we've been integrated with Sport South forever. Catalog import, electronic ordering, automated ordering, online feed, drop ship. That's what we've had for forever. This is different, and this is what's brand new. So it's called the Smart Order Program, and I'll let we'll talk first about on the Sport South side what the program looks like.
So on our side, every solution that we try to bring to our dealers is always based on our original principle, and that's how to make dealers more profitable. And that I've been with Sport South about 27 years, and we really don't deviate too much from what we come from. And so we try to stick to that. It's always how can the dealer win. So with this solution, what we're trying to do is give you the opportunity by allowing us to see your min maxes, seeing what you have going on with that, What we can do is that we can handle providing the inventory on demand. Now, one of the things that one of our principles is gross return on investment. So we were in a situation about a year ago to where we had $100 million worth of inventory that we didn't need. It was just too much. And we had to make the decision, do we take this 100 million, take a year to sell it for $100 million and get our money back? Or would it be wiser for me to try to take this 100 million in the next 30 days, sell it for 80 million so that I would have some new capital that I can turn and actually make a lot more money with it, right? So we gave up 20 million to actually gain 50 million in true revenue. So
Well, and based on the merchandise planning session I sat in yesterday, that is always the smarter route.
Yes, it
According
is.
to Ant USA. Yeah.
Yeah. So saying that, if you take the Amazons and things like that, it's not the breadth of their inventory that makes it hard for people. It's the breadth of it, right? So it's not the depth, it's the breadth. So what we want to be able to provide you with our ability to ship same day, faster than anyone else in the industry. Instead of keeping your minimums at such a high place, trust us to be able to get your product out to you as soon as you need it so that you can lower those minimums and go wider with what you're actually bringing into your store. Don't take in 45 days worth. Take in 3 weeks worth, right? And with us having this transparency with how that's moving and fluctuating, then our sales team can already be prepared to keep you in stock and allow you to go wider than ever before. So when someone walks in your store, they have greater representation of the industry without costing you more money to do it. And so that's what we want to do for you is, again, go wider, let our capital handle the depth, and our ability to ship rapidly keep you in good shape. So that's the principle behind it. So.
Awesome. So in terms of the integration, the new integration for this, it will share your data from your system, not specifically e-commerce, but all of your data. It's a point of sale integration on our side. And the integration is pushing sales data and on-hand data and min-max data. And if you're not yet using min-max levels for your products, that's okay. We will help you, and Sports South will help you. And we really recommend you start with 10, 15 products, your fastest moving products that you always want to have in stock. Start there. Our implementation team will help you set up min-max levels. Through the integration, the min-max levels will sync. It's a bi-directional sync.
Yes.
So you can also edit min-max levels on the Sports South dealer website, and that will sync back into Celerant. So from our system, though, we're going to push on-hand and sales data and min-max data. It pushes through to Sports South. When you go to the shootingwarehouse.com
Correct.
website, which is where most of you will go to place your orders, when you opt in and you're part of this program, we have to set it up for you. But when you're part of this program, when you log in on the Shooting Warehouse website, you're going to see, I forget exactly how it
Right,
looks.
it's a direct link to the Smart Order portal.
Right, it's a separate portal, and you'll see it right there when you log in. And of course, you can get a demo of that. It's live now. So when you go to that Smart Order portal, Sports South has done the heavy lifting. And it's going to suggest, I'm going to flip my slide here because we have an infographic for this too. Sports South will suggest what your orders for replenishment should be based on your on-hand, based on your sales, and based on your min-max. You can literally log in. You can look at the suggested orders. You can click to ship, put replenishment on easy mode. You can save it for later. You can ignore it. You can edit it. You can do whatever you want to do because it's not automated ordering. It's suggested ordering. So again, it's all about using your individual data, your on-hand sales data, and Sports South helping you streamline your replenishment, save time, and order smarter based on your data and your min-max levels.
That's exactly right. And And the other thing is that from a suggestion standpoint, not just what your min maxes are, but when we have trending product that matches your habits of purchasing, that would make sense for your consideration, then we're able to present those products to you as well, so that you can make better decisions on new products and what makes sense to you guys based upon your selling trends that already exist in your store. So.
And there's one other really cool piece to this that was sort of was dreamt up late in the game on this, and it's now live in the version. So I'll let Tony speak to it. But the program Smart Order and this other additional piece that was added is called Smart Buys.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. So the smart buys is again trying to create true relevancy, right? We're always suggesting things, but usually what I suggest you is what Sid gave me a great deal on, and I'm suggesting it to you so you'll buy it, right? But again, it's got to make sense to your region. It's got to make sense to how you're purchasing. Now, the other thing about that is that because of all the other data we have regionally, zip code, whatever it would be, we're able to suggest things based upon real data and not just what's good for me to sell this week as a distributor, right? So it's personal and it's direct to who you are as a dealer.
And the smart order part is all based on your data.
That's right.
And then the separate area within the when you're logged in, there's a separate area for smart buys. And what that is it's not based on your data. It's based on industry data. It's based on what's selling.
That's right.
Hottest products, things that you are not stocking, that's not pulling from your data. So when you log in, you can click to ship and accept whatever suggestions you want based on your data. You can also go into the smart buy section and you can see, I think it's in real time.
It is.
Okay, real time, yes. You can see what Sports South suggests that you should be buying based on industry data and trends. So you can also go in there and you can just enter your quantity, you can add it to cart, and you can add that to your order. And then that also will, I think, eventually sync with our catalog. If it's a product that doesn't live in your database, through the catalog import that we already have with Sports South, it's going to sync that.
Right. Well, and right. So that syncing will be great, but even outside of that, right, it still is part of our catalog and our shopping cart so that they can be added on the fly, whenever you need them to be. Not just as a plug, but I don't know how many of you guys know who we are and what our footprint looks like in the industry. But whatever that footprint is today, we just finished adding 50% larger facilities to what we already have. With the new automation and robotics and everything that goes with that, we're going to double our shipping capacity. And what that means is not just that we can sell more products, but what we want is that if it's Thursday at 4:45 and you have a customer that's going hunting this weekend and they need a scope, that we can pick and pack, pull it, ship it next day air, and have it anywhere in this country to your store, right? So what that means, instead of telling your guy, well, just call me on your next hunt, you're able to call Sports South 4:45 and says, I need this out, can you help me? And we can turn it for you.
Doubling their warehouse.
Yeah.
I've been to your warehouse. I mean, this is a sight to see.
Yeah.
I think they expanded 2 times since you've been
Wow.
there.
Yeah, I've been there. I was there 3-4 years ago. Yeah.
Yes.
Another point I wanted to bring up, Michelle, on this is, aren't the min-max in sync?
Yes.
So if you make a change to min-max in Celerant, it automatically updates on Sports South website and vice versa.
Yes, if you also go in on the Shooting Warehouse website and edit your min-max or add a min-max, it will sync back to our Celerant software. And that, frankly, at SHOT Show, when we kind of unveiled this at the show, a couple of our clients, Simmons and I think Jim's Firearms, were most excited about the bi-directional syncing of min-maxes. So that was definitely what excited them the most. Yeah. So that's going to be eventually. Yes, we're not quite there yet. Phase 1, which is live, does not yet pull those orders back in, but we are adding that in phase 2, where it will also pull back orders into the Celerant software to really streamline it from both directions. Yep. We do that already with another supplier in the hardware space, Orgel.
Okay.
Any other questions about Smart Order? All right. And what are you raffling off?
So we're having SIG binoculars as well.
SIG, yes, more binoculars.
Yeah, we're pretty good friends with SIG. We like these guys. So,
They do a pretty good job.
Awesome. Well, if you have any questions, I really do encourage all of you to talk to these three gentlemen. I will stress this. We will not ever share your data ever without you opting in and giving us permission to do so. And that's just how we roll. So in order to participate in the Smart Order program, you need to opt in because we're not going to push your data to Sports South unless you give us your approval. Same thing with all of these programs. So of course, we're eager to get those agreements signed so we can get as many dealers opted in as possible. And both the Sports South and the SIG, none of this, there's no cost to you. It's all a value add. It's all just meant to help you increase your sales and streamline your replenishment, your ordering, and your business process. All right, well, that is it. That wraps us up. So thank you, gentlemen, all of you, for making the trip and joining us up here.
Thank you.